Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 13th episode of Z.I.P Talks. Today, we're with Team 5843 Auto Vortex to talk about their international experiences. Hi, my name is Mohil, and I'm part of the outreach team in Team Z.I.P Ties.
Hello, my name is Navneet. This is my eighth year in First Robotics, and I'm part of Build.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for inviting our team to be part of your Zip Talks. My name is Cosmina and I'm in Team Auto Vortex for 3 years.
Alrighty, thank you so much. So, starting off, obviously, heading to the World Championship, uh, can you tell us about sort of your journey this season to get to where you are right now?
Well, this season was very challenging for us. We got many opportunities. We participated in championships, let's say almost all over the world. So we participated in South Korea, in India, and at the national championship in our country, Romania. And in Korea, we got first place as a winning Captain Alliance, and also we got the control award. In Romania, we got the first place of the winning Captain Alliance. And in India, we got the winning Captain Alliance, the Motivate Award, and the nominalization for the Inspire Award.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you guys have definitely been a well-rounded team from what it sounds like. Being a winning Alliance captain, motivate award, and being nominated for the Inspire. So,
Yeah.
what would you say is I would say going to competitions all across the world. What are like some of the challenges that your team has? Not just to train sport, but like also to move your whole team around and also to prepare for judging.
Well, some of the challenges we've encountered, but it's actually one of the beautiful things is getting to meet new people, different cultures, different mindsets, and we just had to adapt to their way of living and act. Even in South Korea, the teams and the way they worked, it was different than in India, and the way we were. Let's say presenting ourselves, but this again it's a challenge, but we really liked it because it made us develop and adapt.
Yeah, like I would say like just going all across like the road, you just need to learn how to adapt and how to what are their new cultures, because what you do in your own country compared to what they do are two different things. So were there any experiences or examples that you have that were like really cool for you in the places that you guys went?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with India because it was really amazing for us. So there, the championship lasted 3 days because there were around 70 teams from over the world. We got teams from so us from Romania. There was also another team from Romania, from Kazakhstan, from Israel, from Russia. There were 4 teams, and India. And at the competition, in the first day, we got to listen to their national anthem and also our national anthem when we won. The people there were really friendly and they made sure that we feel like home because our team has a special song that we listen all the time, and we asked them if we could play that in order for us to feel more motivated, because this happened during the last day at the semifinals and finals. We were really nervous. We had a lot of yeah, we were really anxious about everything, and we asked them if we could play this song, and they played it, and everyone listened to us. And they felt really nice as well, even though they don't understand the language. They saw us happy dancing, and they also started dancing. And the organizers, they try to present us their culture by giving us some of their traditional foods. So they gave us some sweets and also a little statue with one of their gods, the little elephant. And they just kept asking us how are we feeling, if everything is all right, and everything was really amazing. We took a lot of pictures with them, um, because they were really happy for they were really happy to have other international teams there. It was actually their first year, while they um, also allowed international teams to participate at their championship the first year. And also the organizers and the referees told us we're really nervous because it's the first year doing this, and we want everyone to feel all right, and we're hoping that it's fine. And they did a pretty good job. Of course, there were some problems and delays with the timings and everything, but in the end everything turned just fine.
That sounds like a lot of fun traveling to another country for a competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was also the weather there, because here in Romania during this season, there are around, let's say, during the day 10 or less degrees, and during the night around 1 or 2 degrees. And in India, it popped up to 40 degrees Celsius, and we
Yeah.
had to adapt to the weather. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really hot, but we enjoyed it. Also
Yeah.
their food, it's really spicy, and all the spices there, they were just amazing. And um, we're really happy that we got the chance to try them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would say, like, just being able to immerse yourself in the different world of, like, first like
Yeah,
traveling to a different country is something that's like brand new for us. Like, we are in Florida, and I'd say the most exposure we get is just going to a Florida State Championship to see how other leagues work. But going to a whole new country to just see how different it is. Like
yes.
it's were there any like traditions that they have that they do compared to like what they do in Romania?
So yes, there are quite a few traditions that we got to see. So at the contest, first of all, they had some traditional dances and traditional songs that they played, and I actually enjoy their music. It's really nice, and it puts you in a good mood. And they play that. Um, they also have a lot of temples
Yeah.
that we visited, and when you enter, you need to take off your shoes and go there barefoot. We also did that. And at the entrance, you had the possibility to buy flowers and then take them inside the temple and put them at their gods, or just have them with you. And this was also really nice, seeing their appreciation and their respect, and the way they treated each other. Another fun fact about India is that Hindi is their main language, but they have a lot of dialects.
Yeah.
And even between them, if they're not from the same area, let's say, or the same city, between them they talk in English.
Yeah.
So their second language is English because they cannot understand each other. And this was really uh, it was really interesting and also helpful for us, because compared to Korea, they knew how to speak English very, very good, like very good. And in South Korea, most of them couldn't speak or understand English properly. So this was kind of, communication we had a few communication issues with them.
Yeah. Did you guys get to like go do more things in India other than like temples and like did you try street food over there?
Yes, we have tried street foods. Especially the best thing there was their coconut juice.
Yeah.
We used to drink them a lot, and they were just on the street in front of you. They would open the coconut and just give it to you. We also went to an amusement park, and there we went on some horses, and there was this guy walking us all over the place, and everyone there was really friendly. And from 5 to 5 minutes, there was someone saying, "Hello, can we take a picture with you?" And it was really nice because they were all amazed by us. And other things that we tried, uh, let me think for a second. I think, oh, their food. I told you. They had this corn with spices on it. And
Mhm.
we actually tried it by the beach in Mumbai, and it was really nice because it has this sweetness and spiciness, and all combined were really good. And as a little insight, the contest was in Pune, which is 4 hours away from Mumbai. So we stayed for the contest in Pune for like 4 days, and then, oh no, actually 5 days, and then we came back to Mumbai with one of the one of their cars, rental cars. Another interesting thing about India and their whole vibe is the traffic there,
Yeah.
which is it's an experience. Trust me, there are a lot of cars. It's chaotic. It scares you actually because everyone is so close to each other, and they have um those special cars with 3 wheels.
Autos.
You know? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, they have them like mostly, and scooters, and then are the normal cars,
Yeah.
but most of the time those specific cars. And we also, um, well, we went in those temples. They gave us that thing with that color in between the brows, it's their specific thing. I don't know exactly what it means for them, but we also got it. And so it's part of their tradition. uh, we also got the chance to wear their traditional clothes, the long dresses and the scarves.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Sounded like a lot of fun.
Okay, so we actually didn't bring the practice field with us. We just brought the robots, and for the robots, because both in South Korea and in India, we participated with two robots, so two teams, but both from Auto Vortex Club, and those robots were in the normal boxes, just some wooden boxes, and the tools were in a special troller. We put everything there. We just made sure that we have two servos and wheels, everything, more in case we need to change the things for our robot. Uh, yeah, we just made sure we have everything, and that was it. Not so complicated, but we actually had some issues when we left India because we changed the uh, company, and they made us pay a little bit more for the robot because in their policies it was overweight,
Okay.
you know. But when we first when we had our first flight, everything was fine. But then apparently it was overweight. But it was okay. The actually the what's the hardest? What was the hardest things for us? One of the hardest things for us was when we got back in Romania and we had to wait for the robots to make sure that they also arrived in our country, you know.
Yeah.
So we waited for them, but it was fine. We got them. They arrived as well.
Yeah, like I'd say, especially for us, I mean, it's a bit different for us since we're in Florida. And, we're going to be transporting our stuff to Houston. So our plan is to take like 2 or 3 vans and like actually just drive there with all our robot and all our materials. That way, we know it's safe. So, when you guys go to Houston, are you guys planning on doing the same thing, or will your plans be slightly different?
So this time in Houston, since it's the Worlds, again we're gonna have the robot and all the tools that we need because this time uh, it's important to have everything and to make sure that if something will broke or will get damaged, you can fix it, and in time. We need to bring all the batteries and the battery chargers and everything. So we're just gonna double check. But in case we forgot something, we'll ask other teams and the same. If you guys forget something, you can come and ask
Yeah.
at our stand.
Yeah, like if you guys do forget something, we're always going to be there. So if you guys need something, you can always contact us on Instagram or just into our pit, and
Yes,
our
yes,
team will
for
be more
sure.
than happy to help you. So, actually, so I know that um, judging might be slightly different from country to country. So, were like when you guys are judging in Romania, was it different from other countries, or was it more exactly the same?
Yes. Okay, so uh, I'm gonna start with the judges in Romania and especially the head referees. So we had the head referees, of course, from the United States, and we had the regionals in Romania and then the national championship. So at the regionals, only a few teams qualified for the national championships and championship. And at the regionals, there were two head referees, both from the United States. And uh, before the matches, this happened in every country. There was a coach and drivers meeting where head referees get to tell you a little bit about the game and the rules that you need to follow. And you also get to answer, or no, to ask some questions in case you don't understand something really well, or you're not sure about something. And the rules changed a little bit from the regionals to the national championship. Let me give you an example because uh, it came to us. We were surprised. For example, the stack that you have, the 5 cone stack from that you get the cones. You were supposed to get the cones from the autonomous. Um, if your robot moves the stack by 1 inch, that is counted a minor, okay? But a minor for every cone that you move. So if the stack that you move has 5 cones and you
It's
move them
five
all,
minors.
there are 5 minors. If by some mistake you move the stack back, again 5 minors. This was really it was it came to us as a surprise, but again we didn't have this rule regional at the regionals. And again in India this rule didn't apply. No one mentioned it, and we didn't, so it didn't count as a minor there. And in India also, the head referee uh, wasn't from the United States, but we had someone from the United States just observing and making sure it's everything is fine. So yeah, the rules really, they were different from country to country, and we follow them. Just at the coach and drivers meeting, they will tell you everything that is different or that you need to follow.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the same way it works in Florida. That you have the drivers meeting before like all the matches start. That way the teams can clarify anything, and then I think it'll work the same way in Houston as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, so were there any specific game rules that were different between countries, or were they all the same?
Well, in all the countries, especially in Romania and India, they were all the same. Like with the drivers, the coach, the human player, the way the human player places the cones, and everything. This was the same because it's the standard, from the game manual. But in South Korea, there were some different rules as well, and it was slightly different because usually per team, not per alliance, per team, you can only place one beacon on the junction. Okay, so in the end game, but in South Korea, they allowed two beacons to be placed by one team. So the alliance had the possibility to place four beacons.
Yeah.
Yeah, which usually this is not in the game manual or on the question and answer side. They can say that only one beacon per team, but yeah, in South Korea, it wasn't
It's
like
a
that.
lot of points. 4 beacons.
Yeah, more points.
Yeah.
So did your team come to know that at the competition, or did you guys know that before you were going? Like,
No, we had no idea.
wow.
We had a place, but it was we were lucky because we had more prints with the beacon, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so like I was gonna ask, like I would say like another thing, traveling internationally is sort of the judging. I think for us in Florida, it's you have your 5 minute presentation, and then the judges give you a 5 minute Q&A session afterwards to ask
yes,
questions, and then they have paid interviews later on. So is that the same for wherever you guys traveled?
yes. So in Romania, we had the judging before, of course. So because they had to make sure the robot is okay, it respects all the uh, dimensions, and also for the beacon and everything, and also to see if you have an engineering notebook. So that's the judging, and you have to tell them a little bit about your team, the robot, the way it was made, and everything you did in this season, you know. But you need to. We talked about so we talked everything, a little bit of everything, and in India it was the same. Um, and actually, in India, some judges came to us later to ask us questions. So they asked us technical questions, and also the outreach and some of the activities we have done. And I think the judges only came after to ask questions to the teams they wanted to give words to,
Yeah.
because we got the motivator word, and they asked us more about what we did and stuff. But he also asked us about the robot and the way we build it.
Yeah. That's pretty much how ours works too. So I don't think it should be that much different worlds for everyone.
Yeah, mainly I think um well, it was a long process, not in the way of making the robot because that lasted for around 3 months, let's say, but in the way of optimizing it because we had to constantly optimize it and make it be get better and over and over we had to observe what wasn't working or what wasn't working that well and change it or modify something, not only in its the not in, only in the way it was constructed, the hardware, but even in the software, in the programming, you know. uh, so even during the national championship in Romania, uh, because it lasted 3 days. In between the days, even then, we changed something at our robot because we saw that there was something that wasn't working so well.
Yeah.
So the main design and everything, you build them at first and then try to uh, respect it, but you make changes every time because you need to get better and better and better, you know?
Yeah, so like I think you're saying that your team also like talking about the robot has two robots. So did you guys bring like how did that work for you? Did you guys compete with both the robots at each competition or
Well, yes. So one time we got the chance to play in the same alliance, which was really good for us because so the 5843 robot is big. Okay, it's bigger than the other one, and it's better for stacking. And the other robot that we have is smaller and faster, so it moves really fast on the field, and it's really good at making circuits and putting cones everywhere. And be us being in the same alliance made us reach even to 200 over 250 points.
Wow.
Yeah, and one time, the Romania National Championship, we played against each other. Yeah, which wasn't really convenient for us, but it's the game.
Yeah.
So, but it was a fair game and everything was fine. Um, Also, another interesting thing that happened at the national championship in Romania is when we played with another team. So it wasn't with our team, it was with another team, and we made a high score of 327 points, which is the second highest score in the world. Yeah.
It's impressive. Congratulations.
But we got some points from the other alliance, so penalties, which they
Okay.
don't count in the, you know.
Yeah.
So we are second ranked as points in the world, 327. Yeah.
I mean still that's very impressive 327. I think, it's just like I'd say it's really impressive to see, how teams can come up with those scores with, unique robots. Like I,
Yeah.
at our Florida championship, I think the highest score was 230, and that was, from teams developing circuits, getting ownership and stacking. So when you guys go to Houston, are you guys going to bring both the robots again with both teams, or are you just bringing one robot?
No. So in Houston, we are just going with the 5A for free. Yeah, just one robot, but it's optimized and we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, like um, I was gonna ask like about sort of like your outreach. I'd say not just the robot, but another part that's really big in FTC, especially at the World Championship and internationally, is the outreach you do. So
Yeah.
because you guys have traveled around the world so much, have you guys done international outreach?
So international outreach. First of all, after we came back from South Korea, we got an invitation for a TV show here in Romania, where we spoke about the robot, and we presented uh, to the people things about FTC and about what it means to be part of this community, what does it imply, and the way the robot works. So we also showed them this year's challenge, and yeah, because we brought the robot and one junction, and there on live we showed them how to place the cones on the junction and things like that. um, and when you talk to people that don't know about don't know what first tech challenge is, you need to make things simpler, because when you start talking about ownerships and look, I have to do this, and wait, this doesn't count if you do that, and there's an alliance, red, blue, they're like, whoa, this is so hard for me to understand. So you need to make it as simple as possible. And we just say that there are robots that compete against each other. They put
Yeah.
cones on junctions, and we also what our one of the main um things that we follow in our team, and the things we want to share to the world, is that robotics gives you the opportunity to express yourself. So you express yourself through robotics, and everyone can do something meaningful here, even if you're like a mechanic, or the programmer, or you have to deal with the 3D printing. Everyone has a role, and everyone can learn these things, because we're all kids, teenagers, and you just, by this program, you get the chance to understand yourself and get to know what you like. And for the future, it is really helpful. And we try to share this message to others.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just being able to it's like sort of like what Dean Kamen said, that first is more than robots.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the ability to do whatever you can do to the best of your ability and be able to express it in a creative manner. That's why our team, I would say, loves First Tech Challenge that much. No matter what you do on the team, you're able to express yourself in a creative way, and you're able to
Yeah.
contribute to something more meaningful than just competing on like a game field. So were there any special moments that you guys had in those international outreaches that you guys did?
Uh, so let me think. I think it was in India, where we got the chance to. It's not really an official outreach, but it matters to us, because again, it opens up opportunities for children, and I think children are the most um, affected by this, and they get to you know uh, be amazed by what is happening. So in India, we met this group of people actually at the competition. Um they were all students from different schools that came there to see what is going on, because they had no idea, but their teachers wanted them to see. And they came to us specifically because we were first ranked there. So they came to our team, and we presented them everything in a nutshell, and they were really amazed. And said that, oh my God, I want to start doing this. So I think this is one of the best thing you can do as a member of FTC to present people what is going on, especially children, and yeah, they loved it, everything about it, and we presented them the robot and what you have to do. They were really impressed. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, like another thing I'd say, like just not just the ability to teach younger kids what
Yeah,
you do in the program, but also like you can also talk with the teachers about the real world application it has. Like like you learn this soft skill in building, and later on, if you want to become a mechanical engineer, an engineer, this is first has already taught you this this groundwork, and they can apply this further on and build onto it. So, within your own team, would you say there have like you have examples or experiences where you can see like the real world application of what you guys are doing as a team? Your message, and it's impacting a younger generation or any generation.
yes. So in our team, we have, I'm gonna start with the past members that we had that are right now engineers, like mechanical engineers, electrical engineers all over the world, not just some of them moved abroad in the United States or stayed in Europe or even in Romania. Um, and also what we did this season, uh, we build robots, not FTC robots, but bigger robots for a TV show in our country. Uh, so they basically, you control them, and the game was basically a big board, and the robots were almost human sized. And we got the chance to build them for something useful that people watch, and we made them, and we think that that's nice because they were normal first tech challenge robots. They were big robots for a TV show, so we did a little bit more. Yeah.
So moving back to like going to international competitions, a big thing most teams struggle with is like finding funding or sponsorships. So how did you guys manage to get sponsors to like get send you guys to different countries to compete?
Okay, so sponsorships. First of all, we we have sponsors the material, for the materials for the robot and everything we need to build them. So these are the big sponsors that help us all as a team. And for the maintenance, electricity for the hub where we're staying and doing our work. So these are the big sponsors. And there are the sponsors that help us when we go abroad. And this is a job for every member of the team to search for a sponsor. So we need to search for sponsors by ourselves when we go abroad to competitions, because some companies cannot sponsor all the team members for the flying tickets, for everything. But you as a member can search for a company or for more and send them emails, tell them a little bit about yourself, about your role in the team. You also present the team and the things you've done for the past years. And yeah, this is how you get the sponsorship.
So, like, is it more like your team individually does it, or are there like times where your team goes to like events, like professional events, and you guys find sponsors there to fund your team to these competitions?
So a few years ago, we used to go to these events for finding sponsors, but now we don't need to do this anymore because there are some big sponsors that stayed with us and decided to sponsor us for even now. And yeah, as I said, every kid tries to reach to a sponsor by email or by calling them. We don't go to this type of events anymore.
I would say like for our team, we do go to these events. Like I think more recently, one of the events we went to was APEC or IBA, and these are both like business events where you can meet engineers and other local businesses that are interested in first of all sponsoring our team to go to Houston because like a big thing that all these companies see is like, wow, your team is going to go represent the state of Florida at the World Championship. So that piques their interest. But what piques it even more is the message that we are trying to spread. So that way we can gather funds to move on to the World Championship and do our best. So like I would say like another thing besides like individually you guys have like fundraising events for like nonprofit groups or fundraising for your team, like a GoFundMe page or just like setting up like you can run a robot for this amount. Like, do you guys do any fundraising events?
Yeah, so we had the last Christmas some fundraising events for children who cannot afford phones or tablets because I think the last year and the last 2 years ago when Corona started, we went into online schooling, and some people just couldn't afford devices to enter for online classes, and we for 20 people kids in school we bought for them phones and gave them for Christmas
That's very
so
nice.
they
Yeah.
they could enter the online classes.
No, that's really wonderful for your team to just giving back to your community and your own in your own platforms. I think
Yeah.
I think it's sort of similar to what we did with the holiday toy drive that we had with one of our sponsors, where we actually we used our Instagram and our social media to promote this event that we were having. So we partnered with our one of our sponsors and we donated I think some amount of toys to a nonprofit organization that gives toys to the kids that normally don't get it around Christmas break. So it just goes first is not just like STEM outreach or
Yeah,
like going to the news, but it's also
exactly.
what work you can give to help your community or like sort of prop your community up so everyone can get the same experience and everyone can get the same opportunities that you're having, right?
Yes, yes, that's one of the most beautiful things, and it's really rewarding to help the community and to get the chance to share everything you have and help the others.
Yeah, like um I I also say like another thing is not just like nonprofit growth, but also like how you're other first teams in your area or on an international level. So do you guys are you guys involved with any other first teams around your area?
Um, no, we are more of an independent team, and we try to do things by ourselves.
So like what I was trying to say with that is like do you guys mentor or assist any teams? Or like have you guys started any teams this season?
Um, so no, we do not mentor any other teams, but we have we are mentored by our past members that are now
Yeah.
in college or have a business. They help us.
Yeah, like I'd say like a big thing in our team is just like not just past mentors, but like through the first mentor connection program, as well as, you know, finding past members of other teams around us to come help us
Yeah,
is a really big thing because they can offer insight that you don't have. Like I think one thing is sometimes you might have like a problem with our wiring or with our mechanic or with our robot, and the mentor would come in and say, wait, you didn't put this in, you know, and because you know our like mechanical team is so busy and at it, they might not have seen that. Just having a mentor there to come and help you out is just a really beneficial thing. So
yeah, it's a big. Um, okay, so for our robot, besides the standard things and materials that we have, uh, mostly our robot has 3D printings. So we have our own 3D printers, and we build them for our robot. And this is why, if you take a look at it, you will see that it's really colorful due to all the printings that it has. It has yellow, purple, red, blue, every color possible.
So what software do you guys use to like custom design them?
So for the design, we use SolidWorks. So we first made the design there and see if everything is okay. And again, we keep updating it. And then for our programming, we use Java and Roadrunner. And this is it mostly.
Yeah.
What do you guys use?
So we use SolidWorks for CAD and
Yeah.
Java for programming. I think Mo can talk more about programming though.
yeah, so this season, as Ramit is saying, we do use Java to program our robot. We have like a lot of new, or like we have a lot of or not mechanical software optimizations to actually make our teleop program easier. Like we have automatic cone leveling, so you might be
Oh, yeah,
seeing it.
yeah.
So yeah, so with the stack, you know, as you move cones in the teleop period, um, like in the tie-up period, you as we remove cones, you know, just using your arm mechanically to take time to actually align it, it takes a lot of time in that 2 minute period. But having that automatic like level and that automatic, you know, position, it makes it a lot more faster to score those cones. Also another thing is we actually have a turret on our outtake, and you know what we try to do with that is to actually, you know, be able to sit in a position and, you know, be able to score multiple junctions. So our coder or our programming team is trying to work on finding a way to sort of detect those poles and trying to find a way, you know, to make scoring codes a lot easier. So it's just as we move on into the competitions, our programming team is working with our hardware team to try and find different ways we can make all our teleop and our autonomous period faster to score more cones, and you know,
Yeah.
right. So what are like some of the programming things that you guys do with your robot that, you know, makes sure it's unique or makes you guys a lot
Uh,
faster?
so as you said, we also have automatic. We coded for the junctions. So we have a button for each junction for the robot to place the cone. So it makes it a lot easier. And I think the most unique thing that we have is the color detection algorithm, because we have a custom sleeve. So for each parking zone, we have assigned 3 different colors. And what this algorithm does is that we have set it an area, a rectangle, and the code, actually the camera first, detects the most amount of pixels from that area, and then the overall color that it's there, it's the specific color, and it parks based on the color it sees there.
Yeah.
Then this is the algorithm in a nutshell.
Yeah, our team, instead of actually using color, we use April tags. So I don't know if you've seen it, but recently teams
Yes,
have used like the sort of like a QR code on
yeah, I
each
saw it.
team. So in that way, we use that instead of colors. I think it's a lot faster, and there's not as many errors, especially in the field, because obviously you have yellow cone, or you have, sorry, not yellow cones, yellow junctions, blue cone,
Mhm.
red cone. So if you are off by just like even 1 centimeter with the color, it could mess up your parking. But with April tags, it's a lot faster, and you're a lot more accurate with it. So, are there any like other, or like sort of not from Auto, but like in Teleop, are there any things that you guys do besides the automatic junctions? Do you guys do anything with wrapping cones or?
Yes, so uh, for grabbing the cones, our robot has this hand that moves, and actually with a slide we have a sliding system that extends from the robot, and there's this hand attached to it. It grabs the cone and it reverses, because we have three servos on the hand. It reverses, it puts the cone in the robot. There's this special cone holder which is placed right where the lift is. So after it places the cone, there's the lift that puts the cones on the junction. And we also have this uh, rotative plate that changes the angle. So there is no need for us to move the robot. There's this plate that rotates, and it puts the cones on the desired junctions. So this way it's maximizing the efficiency and the timing. So we get to put as many cones as possible.
Yeah, I think Arnav can actually tell you some of the similarities and differences between, I think, what you just said and our current robot.
Yes. Yes, I
Um,
think I've seen the mechanism before. I know what you mean.
yeah. So like you were saying earlier, we also optimized the robot in between competitions, and one thing we just changed is added another like slide system and turn it on the outtake claw, so it can like turn 180 degrees and extend even further out.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So the same for us.
Yeah, like I think sort of like going back to the auto plus the mechanical automations that we had is we've seen, especially in the Florida State Championship and other national championships, that a lot of teams go for the two high junctions that are sort of like in the middle. So
Yeah.
we actually made some optimizations to our robot and to our programming, so our robot can just sit in one place and move like an inch to actually grab the cones, place it on the middle one, which is closest to like the lines like substation, like the triangle. And we're trying to work on that so that way we can work efficiently with any team. So are there any like sort of similar to that? Are there any optimizations or anything in your robot that makes you able to like partner with any team?
So yeah, I think one of the biggest advantages is that we have an autonomous working on both sides. So if the other team's autonomous is only for the right or for the left, it's okay. We can go on the other side. So we uh, get to do as many points as possible. Another thing is the hand that grabs the cones, that it can moves like up and down, and it can grab the cones from the stack and from almost every place. Also, if a cone has fallen down onto the ground, with the hand we can also lift it back up and grab it and use it.
Yeah. Like or sort of not just like mechanically, but do you guys have like multiple autonomous paths, not just like one auto path for you to use during the competition?
Yeah. So we have two autonomouses that work, but we usually stick to the main because